to give you a warning.
God bless you. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
Do me a favor. Pay attention to the signs.
I promise you won't get me again doing the same thing.
Perfect.
Sorry about that.
All right, perfect. That's what I like to hear.
I never got a break from a motorcycle cop. So, first, I love you.
Hopefully there's not another time because I don't know if there'll be a last.
No, you guys are tough, man. But thanks for what you do. Merry Christmas. And
Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
So this is a warning. It says no court warning only. Just a record of why I pulled you over and what we talked about.
Awesome.
It doesn't go on your driving record.
Thank you so much.
Man, this all back to you.
I appreciate it.
All right.
My wife won't believe this. Hey, you want a burger? All right, take care. And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back to a new video. And today we're going to talk about Hellcats. Yes, Hellcats are being continued in 2025 and most likely, from what we're hearing, in 2026. And for sure, we know that there's going to be some V8s coming with Tim Kuniskis at Ram. At this point, I think everything is going to change, but it's going to take some time. And I don't know if it's going to be Hellcat engines going into some new cars, or it's going to be 392s or 5.7s. I don't know. Nobody knows. But here's what we do know. It's going to be an exciting year. And we also know that the one problem that they've got to deal with at Dodge, at all the CDJR dealerships, is they've got to get pricing right. Otherwise, they're going to continue to have the same exact problem they've been having. I want to do this video just as a quick shot across the bow to every dealership out there that's still thinking that they can sell a Durango Hellcat for $110,000, $115,000. And I want them to see that the inconsistencies between dealerships is significant. While a dealership will advertise these things at one dealer for 115 grand, you can literally go to another dealership in the same general vicinity and find one with massive discounts. But I still believe, despite the discounts, that we have a problem with pricing. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So just a quick refresher. They hit us in 2021 with the Hellcat Durango at base price $82,490, with the one tested, one with a well-optioned Durango Hellcat, Motor Trend took out, that was priced at $88,470. Go back on my channel, you can see my wife and I actually went out and looked at these things, and because we couldn't get the bench seat and the third row seat, it just wouldn't have worked at the time. Probably today it would, but there's no way I can talk her into it. Bottom line is, especially at the prices, because you can get a frigging Land Rover Defender. Now, not the greatest reliability, but one of the most luxurious vehicles I've ever been in. We have one, and it's astonishing how well it drives, how nice it drives when it's not in the shop. I got to talk quiet. My wife loves that car like she loves her, firstborn, only born child. But the bottom line is when it's not in the shop. So maybe the Dodge would be a little more reliable, but to keep in mind, you're rolling up. There's a significant difference when you roll up to valet in a Land Rover or Range Rover versus rolling up in a Dodge. And I wish that was different, but it just is what it is. Now, if they know it's a Hellcat, that's something. So a luxury vehicle is in the 80s, and I'm talking loaded. Her Land Rover's loaded. And many other great luxury vehicles out there. You can get into the Mercedes family and the BMW family under $100,000 with a pretty amazing SUV. Now, it's not a Hellcat. I get it. But I'm going to show you also the 392s. So let's go and look at, now that we know, we reminisced on the original pricing, and we end up in a place to where today they're saying the 2025 Durango SRT Hellcat is going to start at $104,000. That is pretty insane when you think about it. That $104,000 is the starting price. All right, so if you want to go get a, actually here's a starting MSRP, actually a $97,590, but that's bare bones. You'll never find that car. So I think this is what they're talking about $104,000, $108,000 for the premium. Let's just go ahead and pick Hellcat Plus, and this will show you the average offer made by others is about $100,000. So MSRP is built $103,000. if you get the plus package. Here's all the available incentives, and this is kind of interesting. And by the way, they're out there, but there's some dealerships that are not offering them. So 500 for first responders, Ford Conquest bonus cash. I don't know if that even ties into this thing, but bottom line is the one that you're going to see is this one, the $7,100. This one is being offered at a lot of dealerships right up front. You don't even have to go fight for it. Also this one. So let's go look. This is just the stuff that's available. But let's go look. So here's Tobin in Vegas. They've got nothing listed here. So you know right out of the gate that for sure there's a lot of discounts there. Why aren't they put on the website? Who knows? But this could just be the price they're holding at until you get in there and negotiate. But this is what I was telling you. You look at some websites and you think, well, it's 115 grand. I guess that's the deal. And then you go to another dealership and here's one, premium all-wheel drive, and it's got the $7,100. Let's go ahead and look at MSRP though. $111,385, $7,100 plus $4,000 plus $500, which is this is the stuff that most people are going to qualify for. Still takes it to $99,785. And the point I wanted to make in this video is that's still a freaking lot of money. It's still way too much money. And people are asking me, well, what should I offer? What should I pay to get one of these things? Well, I would say that I would go back to this price. I think they don't deserve to get $100,000 for a Dodge. I just think it's insane. So somewhere around that original price seems to make a lot more sense to me. So that means they got to come off this thing for me to even consider buying a Durango Hellcat. They got to get me into the 80s, the high 80s. I mean, really low 90s for me to even consider it. So my feeling about these incentives is that they're just not enough. But I want to make this point. If you're shopping right now, you've got a few more days this year to help them hit their numbers. Because right now, if you want to get a deal, you go in and offer them. These are all national manufacturer rebates and retail bonus cash. This is not coming from the dealership. The dealership still has room, and they need to move these things off of their lots. So if you find one that's there now, go in there and offer them $88,000 before the end of the year. And here's why. The reason why they want to move so many cars now, and they're willing to discount, they're willing to come down, is all the allocations for the six-pack that they are being told is going to be pushed up to make it to their dealership sooner are going to be based on the success level, the number of sales that dealership had in this last year. So they're not going to get as many allocations if they don't move as many cars. So while they probably didn't care that much, while they thought that for the most part all they're going to have is that EV thing, and you knew that's going to be a challenge, so they're holding tight on these prices. I can tell you now they're thinking, holy crap, we need to get as many of those six-packs allocated to us as we possibly can, because that's where they can make a ton of money. And let me just tell you, you can bet dollars to donuts they're going to mark those things up. And there's going to be dummies out there that are going to pay the markups. And it's sad and it's depressing and I wish I can just stop them, but it's likely going to happen. So they know that they're going to have another giant boom year if they can get large allocations of those things. And the only way they get them is if they show large numbers of sales in 2024, and so many of them have had dismal, horrible years. So between now and the end of this month, just another week or so, they're going to be doing everything they can to move as many of these vehicles as they can. And if there's some 23 Chargers or Challengers, go in and make your deals. But just don't think because they're offering these incentives that that's where it ends, because they're going to try to convince you of that. They're also likely going to try to stick some stuff on top of the price ultimately for add-ons or admin fees or garbage like that. So I would not pay $99,000 for this. I certainly wouldn't get anywhere near paying that kind of money. But what about these Durango SRT 392s? Well, there's a bunch of them. There's a lot of them out there, and I'm thinking you can get some good deals. But if you look at the discounts, again, a lot of discounts are being applied to get this price from the astonishing $91,135. Remember, the Hellcat was $88,470, well equipped. Now the SRT 392 is $91,135, and then they're so gracious to give you these discounts to bring it down to what the asking price should actually be. So don't be fooled by these discounts. This is not in anywhere on planet Earth a $91,000 SUV. Absolutely not. It's a Dodge with an old, although beloved and amazing V8 engine. This is not a $91,000. This is more than our Land Rover. This is more than a used Range Rover, a slightly used, still under warranty Range Rover, a Mercedes, just BMW, X5s, X7s. You can get in these things in these ranges depending on the equipment and the discounts that exist. But we're talking about real luxury vehicles, and they're asking $91,000, and they give you all these discounts, which makes you think, man, this is a good deal. No, this thing, I wouldn't pay more than $65,000, $66,000 for this thing, and I still think that's a stretch. It's basically a Scat Pack in a Durango. Definitely a great machine, and it'd be fun to have, but not at $72,000. So could you get one? Well, when you see this many of them out there, I would say head to the dealership before the end of this year and lowball them, and just start lowballing everybody until a dealership wants to move some of these things, because I can promise you they want to, because they need allocations for next year, and they need some sales counts for this year. So I just wanted to show you, because if you walk into a dealership who's not putting the discounts right up front, you're going to see these things at $91,000. You're going to see the Durangos at $115,000. If you do have a dealership where they're putting the discounts in, there might be add-ons. Go look at what the prices were in 2021, 22, and that's the most I would pay. I'm not going to fall for this whole inflation thing. I'm not going to pay that kind of money for these things. It's just not worth it. So I just thought I'd do a quick video to show you the pricing is outrageous. So it's like when you go and see something on sale at Best Buy, but the price was already too high, and the discount just took the thing to being what it's actually worth. That's kind of what we're dealing with now. They've raised the MSRP so high that the discounts appear to be such a gracious thing for them to do. But absolutely, all those things are doing is dropping them back to what would otherwise be a good starting price before we get into deep battling and negotiations in the dealership. But at this point, with another week or so left of the year, I would go in and I would hold firm on lower prices, and I guarantee you, you're going to walk out with a deal. And if not, you're going to be glad you didn't pay that much money for these things, because they're not going to stop making these Hellcat Durangos, and they're not going to stop making these 392 Durangos. I would bet, again, dollars to donuts, that these things are going to be around for a very long time now with Carlos Tavares gone and the new potential changes with the EPA and the comeback of these V8s. So with that, everybody, please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.